Good afternoon, students. Last day I had given you a homework. What was the question? One conversion I had given. I had forgotten the question. What was the question? Yes, Mansi. What was the question?
Propene to ol.
Propene. Propene it was. Propene to ol. How many of you have done propene to ol? Okay. Medha, you tell how you have done.
Ma'am, I have added H2SO4 along with water.
Yes, you have added actually water in presence of H2SO4.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. How many of you have not done? Athar, you have done the homework? The same method you have used? So it was a simple conversion, one step conversion. You have added water in presence of H2SO4, or in place of H2SO4 only you can write H plus. H plus is enough. That means the medium is acidic. That's all. So this propene, this was propene. You have added water in presence of H2SO4, or you can say only H plus. In this way also you can show. So simple Markovnikov rule, you get propane. Now the next question you write down. Next question is propene to propane ol. This is the next question. This question already you have done. The next question is propene to propanol. Propanol means propane 1-ol. So again OH you have to put, then again you can use water. But what is the difference this time? Anyone is having any idea? Then he or she can raise hand. Yes, Athar. Athar.
Miss, we will add permanganate.
Say again.
Miss, we will add permanganate.
Peroxide you are saying.
Yes, Miss, peroxide.
But you know, okay, anti-Markovnikov rule is required. Okay, but the problem is anti-Markovnikov rule only is valid for HBr. That I have told you last year. Only with HBr and peroxide, anti-Markovnikov rule is possible. But anyhow, here we need anti-Markovnikov, isn't it? So first we will add HBr. So in first step, you will add HBr in propene in presence of peroxide. So start writing the first step. Propene, you will add HBr in presence of peroxide. Then what will be the product? Bromopropane or 1-bromopropane. Now in the second step, what you have to do? Only you have to replace Br with OH. Then you can use aqueous KOH or aqueous NaOH. But one more thing, students, in this type of conversion, you will continue the steps in this way. This is your propene. Now, writing conversion is little different. While writing the conversion, we are not showing the reagents with plus. We are writing the reagents above arrow. In this way, we are writing the reagents. Okay, and we are not balancing also because it is not possible. So in this way, you will write propene adding HBr in presence of peroxide. then you will get bromopropane. Now you will continue it. Now you will add aqueous, POH, not NaOH. You will get propanone. In this way, you will write the conversion. Don't break the steps. Now, many more questions are there. Those questions we will discuss. I will give you again homework at last of this period. Let us start the next chapter, alcohol, phenol and ethers. The next chapter. And in your first semester exam, 5 chapters I am going to give. 3 chapters from physical and 2 from organic. Okay? Yes, Chaitanya, freon topic is left. So I have asked you suppose I ask you that comment on freons. That what do you know about freons? I have told you that day also I have asked you that you just prepare it. That who will tell about freons? That which type of compounds are called freons? What is about their reactivity? How they are used? Freons, also known as chlorofluorocarbon. So, anyone is ready to say something about freons? 45 minutes only the teacher will speak. That also I had asked you. No one is ready to say anything. Okay, Mansi.
Ma'am, freons are gas under ordinary conditions and they can be liquefied as well.
Be a little loud and keep your speaker in this way. You hold it, speaker.
Miss, it is gas under ordinary conditions. It is a gas.
Yes, it is gaseous under ordinary temperature.
Yes, and it can be liquefied also. It is non-toxic and chemically inert. And it is used as a refrigerant in refrigerators and as a propellant in aerosols.
Actually, freons, they are this type of compounds. This type of compounds are called freons. All the hydrogens, generally it is prepared from methane. But two carbon freons are also there. But mostly the freons are of one carbon. All the hydrogens of methane are replaced by fluorine and chlorine. So the X and Y. So the value of X and Y can vary. So that is why they are also known as chlorofluorocarbons. At room temperature, they are gaseous in nature and they are totally inert at room temperature. They cause no harm at room temperature. Totally inert. That is why they are used in refrigerator, in air condition, as she has said, as propellant in aerosols. I hope you all know what are aerosols. Aerosols, whatever we spray, they are aerosols. And these chlorofluorocarbons are used as propellants. What propellants do? They help the particles to float. Okay, when you spray anything, then the droplets, they can flow far. In that, these chlorofluorocarbons, they help them. So that we can spread the aerosol particles. So these are used as propellants in aerosols. And in all cooling devices, they are used. So at room temperature, they cause no harm. But as they are non-reactive, in troposphere, they are totally unreactive. But they are gaseous. So when they reach in ozonosphere, stratosphere, where they get direct ultraviolet radiation, then they produce free radicals, chlorine free radicals. And these chlorine free radicals, they start attacking on the ozone molecules. And in this way, the free radical mechanism starts, and we know depletion of ozone molecule or ozone layer. We know about this, no? So in depletion of ozone layer, the main, you can say the main culprit is these freons, which are very innocent for us. In troposphere, they are very innocent, no reaction, nothing. But when they reach stratosphere or ozonosphere, then they start showing their actual behavior. So they are the main cause of ozone layer depletion. Many other causes are also there, like oxides of nitrogen. These jet aeroplanes, they fly from ozonosphere. Then in jet aeroplanes also fossil fuel is used. And in fossil fuel, you all know sulfur and nitrogen is also there. So oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen are also come out from the this jet aeroplanes. So oxide of nitrogen, that is nitric oxide, this is the second factor for ozone layer depletion. But the first and the main factor for ozone layer depletion is freons, which are inert at room temperature at troposphere, but they are very, they show very bad effect when they reach ozonosphere, where they get ultraviolet radiation, and then their free radical is formed, and from there the chain of free radical mechanism starts, and one by one the ozone molecules, they get destroyed by producing oxygen molecule and nascent oxygen atom. So this is about freons. Now we are going to start the next chapter, that is alcohol, phenol and ether. Okay, what I am saying about that in first semester, 3 chapters: solid state, solution, electrochemistry, this haloalkane, haloarine, and alcohol, phenol and ether. These 5 chapters will come. Okay. So let us start this chapter, and after completing this chapter, we can do little revision. So alcohol, phenol and ether. So first we will see alcohol. Now see, this is water molecule with 2 lone pairs. And this is alcohol. Again with 2 lone pairs. Isn't it similar? That means only from water molecule, one hydrogen has been replaced by alkyl group, we are getting alcohol. So we can say that it is the alkyl substitute of water. Only the bond angle will change. In water, the bond angle is 104.5 degree, but in alcohol it is little more than 108. It depends on the R. Because R is big enough, R is having many electrons, so due to little repulsion between bond pair, the bond angle in this is little more than that in water. So alcohol, when we say, that means it is related to alkyl, ROH. If it is benzene ring, then we do not call it alcohol, we call it phenol. That is a separate group of compounds. Phenol means benzene ring with OH, and alcohol means ROH. Always it is R. Now, on the basis of number of OH group, monohydric alcohol, like this one. Any alcohol which is having only one hydroxyl group, that is monohydric alcohol. Dihydric alcohol, where 2 groups are present. This is a common compound, that is why I am giving these examples only. This compound is very common. It is called ethylene glycol. common name is ethylene glycol or simply glycol. This name you must have heard in solution chapter. This is used as antifreeze in those for car radiators where the temperature is very low. Ethylene glycol. IUPAC name you can write by your own. Ethylene glycol is its common name. IUPAC name you write by your own. Write it. What is the IUPAC name? Send the IUPAC name. Ethane 1,2 diol. Yes, it is correct. Ethane 1,2 diol. In ethane, last E will not be there because your functional group is starting with vowel. So it is ethane 1,2 diol. And if there are 3 alcoholic groups, then it is dihydric. Common is 3 carbon with which group? It is actually glycerol. Its compound is glycerol or is glycerine, which is used. Glycerine or glycerol. And write the IUPAC name. Medha, in ethane 1,2 diol, in ethane last E you cut. Because functional group is starting with vowel. Now this IUPAC name you write down for glycerol. Yes, Divyanshi, propane 1,2,3 triol. Okay. Propane 1,2,3 triol. Only girls are replying why? What about boys? Three compounds I have written all are alcohols. What is the difference in them? You just see the alpha carbon. I hope you all can find out which one is alpha carbon. The carbon directly attached to functional group. Then you see that alpha carbon is attached to how many carbons? This alpha carbon is attached to only one carbon. So this is primary alcohol. The concept is same as we have studied in case of haloalkane. If alpha carbon is attached with one more carbon, then that is primary. If alpha carbon is attached with 2 more carbons, then secondary. If alpha carbon with 3 more carbons, then it is tertiary. So this is primary, secondary, tertiary. So the concept of primary, secondary, tertiary is always same. Now we are going to study the preparation. Preparation. The first preparation. That is very easy and you know that. First preparation from haloalkanes. From haloalkanes. From haloalkanes. Haloalkanes means RH. Haloalkane means RH. So from RH. So any type of haloalkane you take, CH3Br or C2H5Cl or C3H7I, any type of haloalkane you take. Now what you have to do, you have to only replace the halogen with OH. So you know how to do it. Which reagent you will use? I hope you all know that which reagent we have to use to replace halogen with OH. Who will tell? The reagent. Which reagent you will use? Vikram, Malviya. Which haloalkane you have taken?
CH3Br.
CH3Br. Okay, you have taken CH3Br. Now you have to replace this Br with OH. Then you will get alcohol. Because we have to prepare alcohol, no? We are studying the chapter preparation of alcohol. So we have to replace this Br with OH. So any reagent you know through which we can replace the Br with OH?
NaOH.
Aqueous NaOH, not only NaOH. So simply you write down aqueous NaOH. NaOH or KOH, then you will get the product. Okay.
CH3.
Okay. So CH3OH plus NaBr or whatever haloalkane you have taken, according to that you will make your compound. It is not necessary that you will write this only. So this is simple one. From haloalkane we can prepare alcohol by but don't forget to write aqueous. Because if only NaOH or KOH you will write, then you will get 0. Because we know that aqueous NaOH or alcoholic NaOH, in both the cases we will get different products. So you have to mention aqueous here. At least in this equation you have to mention. Now the next preparation. From alkenes. Let us take smallest alkene. The question in the homework that I had given. The first question in homework I had given. Prepare a propane 2-ol from propene. Prepare propane 2-ol from propene. You have added water. In presence of H2SO4, you have added water. So here also the same thing you will do. Add water in presence of H plus. Presence of H plus is must. H2SO4 is must. Now here your alkene is symmetrical, so no need of using Markovnikov or anti-Markovnikov. In any carbon you can add OH. You will get ethane ol. Now in your syllabus, the mechanism of this reaction is there. Now let us see the mechanism. This is ethene, and in this ethene we are having one pi bond. And we know that pi bond is loosely present. It is not firmly, it is not firm in its position. Pi bond is loose, it is weak. Electrons are weak, you know. They can, little bit, they can shift to this carbon or to that carbon. And breaking of pi bond is also easy. Isn't it? Breaking of pi bond is easier than sigma bond. So here one pi bond is present. Now what will happen? You will get the electromeric effect that we have studied last year. Electromeric effect. See, all those things will come back again and again. Electromeric, inductive, resonance. So in electromeric effect, what was happening? First of all, electromagnetic effect was a temporary effect you have studied. When any attacking reagent attacks, then only the compound shows electromagnetic effect. Isn't it? So first of all, who is coming? Express. Now from where this express is coming? The acid that you have used, H2SO4 or any acid that whatever you have used, that H2SO4 is supplying express. Getting my point? Now when this express is approaching this alkene, then its electromagnetic effect will be seen. What is electromagnetic effect? Transferring of pi electrons towards one side. This pi bond will break, and due to the effect of this proton, these pi electrons will shift to this carbon because proton is coming to approach. That is positive. So these pi bonds are breaking and these electrons are going to this carbon. So what is happening? This carbon is getting negative and this is getting positive. This carbon has got positive charge and that carbon is getting negative charge. So carbon-cation formation is taking place. Now who else is there? H2O is present. With this lone pair, H2O is present with this lone pair. Now due to this lone pair, this H2O will attack on which carbon? That you think, and through that oxygen you make the bond with that carbon. You do it. Through this oxygen, this water molecule will attack on this positive charge carbon. Why? Because your lone pairs are present. Water is an electrophile or nucleophile? Water is a nucleophile. Water is a nucleophile because oxygen is having two lone pairs. So this water will attack through this oxygen to this positive charge carbon. And on the other side, this hydrogen is also coming, so it is becoming CH3. Now this oxygen is going to attack this carbon. So what you will get? You will get this type of this is water molecule. Through this oxygen, this water molecule has attacked this carbon. Now in this oxygen molecule, still how many electron pairs are remaining? One. One electron pair it has already used to make this coordinate bond. And one electron pair is remaining in this oxygen. oxygen can form 2 bonds. It can't form 3 bonds. In water also we have seen, this is water molecule. Oxygen is forming 2 bonds with 2 lone pairs. And here the oxygen is not having any charge. But in this case, oxygen is forming 3 bonds with only 1 lone pair. That means it's 1 lone pair it has used to make coordinate bond. That is why, if this is the condition, if anywhere you see oxygen making 3 bonds with 1 lone pair, that means that oxygen is having a positive charge because it has used its 1 lone pair to make coordinate bond. That is why instead of 2 lone pairs, it is having only 1 lone pair. So we have to put 1 positive charge. So, and oxygen is highly electronegative. It can't tolerate a positive charge on it. So whenever oxygen is showing 3 bonds with 1 lone pair and with 1 positive charge, that always oxygen will try to remove its positive charge. How? By gaining electrons. Then from where it will gain electrons? It will break either this bond or this bond. Suppose it is breaking this bond, it is taking its electron pair and this H plus ion is going out. So what we are getting at last? We are getting CH2, OH, CH3. And what is removing out? H plus ion is again removing out. We are again getting that H plus ion back. The H plus ion which we have used it as a catalyst that we are getting from acid, at last again we are getting 1 H plus ion back. Because we know that catalyst will remain as such. At the end of the reaction, again we will get the catalyst. Yes, Medha?
Ma'am, can you please tell again from second step?
Yes?
Ma'am, can you please tell again from second step?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
So first of all, when this proton is approaching this alkene, due to which it will start showing electromagnetic effect, pi bond is breaking and pi electrons are getting transferred to 1 carbon. So this carbon is getting positive and this is getting negative charge. And at this negative carbon, finally when this proton is coming, it is becoming CH3. But this carbon is still remaining as positive charge. Now water is present, which will behave as an electrophile. Water is present, which will behave as a nucleophile. This water will attach to this positive charge carbon through its lone pair, that means through its oxygen. So through its oxygen, water has attached to this carbon and it has made 1 bond. Now this oxygen is having 3 bonds. 1 lone pair it has used to make this bond. So it is having 3 bonds with only 1 lone pair. Because it has used its 1 lone pair. That is why we have to put 1 positive charge on oxygen. Oxygen can't form 3 bonds. Oxygen cannot be stable in 3 bonds. So whenever oxygen will 3 bonds, then it will try to remove its positive charge. So to remove its positive charge, any of these 2 bonds it will break. So suppose it is breaking this bond and these 2 electrons it is gaining and this H plus ion is removing out and we are getting ethanol. So in this way, whatever catalyst we have added here, at last again we are getting it back. So that is what we call catalyst. Catalysts, they are not consumed in the reaction. So after the reaction, the same amount we get back. So here also we can see the same method. So the process is going to the formation of carbocation formation. So this is the mechanism of addition of water in alkene. So this is about from alkenes. Now, in the same topic from alkenes, whatever we have studied, the name I have forgotten to tell you. Actually, whatever we have studied, that is called just now, whatever we have studied, it is known as acidic hydration of alkene. Hydration means addition of water. So hydration of alkene, we have added water in alkene. Acidic, because acidic medium we have used. So it was acidic hydration of alkene. So from alkenes, this was the first method. And one more method is also there. That is called hydroboration of alkene. Hydroboration of alkene. This is also addition reaction. Boration. Boration word is coming from borane. This compound is known as borane, BH3. Generally, it exists as dimer, B2H6. So BH3 is used as borane. So here the alkene is treated with borane, BH3. So what will be the reaction? We can use ethene also because from alkene it is written in the heading. That means we have to start with alkene. This time suppose we can take propene. Instead of ethene, I am taking propene. And using borane. Instead of writing BH3, I have written in this way. Because addition will take place. Addition will take place, but H2O2 we are using here. H will come here, CH2. This compound we will give. Simple addition. At last we will use H2O2. So what we are getting, you see, from this BH3, one hydrogen has been replaced with this alkyl group. From this BH3, one hydrogen is replaced with this alkyl group. This alkene has become alkyl group. If we use one more alkyl group, one more alkene, then one more hydrogen can be replaced by this alkyl group. So we will get this compound. Now with B, only one hydrogen is remaining. From borane, actually, all the three hydrogens we are replacing with the alkyl group. That's all what we are doing. Now with B, one more hydrogen is remaining. So if again we take one more molecule of propene, then this hydrogen also can be replaced with alkyl group. Instead of writing here, I am writing twice. So in this way we can write all three hydrogens are replaced with alkyl group. From borane, all three hydrogens we have replaced with alkyl group. And the last step is, now we will treat it with H2O2 in presence of alkali. That is why OH minus I have shown. OH minus means alkaline medium. And H2O2. With all these three alkyl groups will give you alcohol. So we will get 3 carbon alcohol. We will get propanol. And the byproduct will be boric acid. And this propanol will be 3 moles of propanol because 3 groups we have got. Boron is attached to 3 propyl groups. That is why 3 moles of propanol we will get. So with this reaction, only primary alcohols can be prepared. But the yield is very good, but the drawback is only primary alcohol can be prepared by this reaction. This reaction very rarely they are asking. So these two methods from alkene, how we can prepare alcohol. But the most common and important is by addition of water, where mechanism also is there. This method is not very commonly asked. Now students, let me give you few questions for your homework because time is about to over. So from the last chapter, I am giving you some homework. Actually, you have to find out the compound A, B, and C. Okay. So I hope all of you have written it. Now don't forget to do these homeworks, because these homeworks I am giving you just so that you can search. I'm not asking you that you by your own you just search it from your book or copy. This is the only way to study organic. Otherwise, no other way. If you think that one day I will sit and one day only I will learn all the reactions, it is not possible. Every day you have to turn the pages. Okay, so don't forget to do this homework. I will ask you in the next. So A, B, C, D, all these compounds you have to find out. And how you will write after getting the answer, you will write that compound A is this, B is this. In this way you will write the answers. In exam also you will write in this way. Okay? Yes, Vaishnavi?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Miss, I have to ask one question.
Yes.
Miss, it is given on page number 582, question number 10.6, third part.
Which book you are asked? I'm not having that book. Which book you are having?
Miss Nutan,
Which page number?
582, question number 10.69, third part.
Wait, I will note it. 582 number.
Yes, ma'am.
And question number?
10.69, third part.
10.69.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will note it down.
Yes,
At present, I am not having that book. Okay, let me see what is it. Okay. Okay, next class tomorrow, I will discuss it.